If I love you, then I love you, no condition. You my brother, so I'm always there for you, no condition. I ride on the world, point them out, what's the mission? They can never come between what we stand for. Loyalty above all. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers. Whoa, don't get no headshot, this in my kin. I go retarded for my brother them. No off switch, you heard of him. Chappelle Guardian, I slaughtered him. My body stretched. You see the corpse of a giant when I exit the booth. Your soul gets defeated the gods when it exits your roof. We like the mob in the 70s. I pray for my enemies. I pray on my enemies don't play. If I call them boys coming, under arms like a centipede. My brother know my energy. Talk without speaking, never argue over bitches. Leave a jumpy on the weekend. If I trust you, keep a secret. My brother never leak it. The question of man's loyalty is evil. Whoa. For my brother them, I walk the yellow line. We don't do no half stepping. I just my brother them was raised in the dirt, so we gotta raise our weapon. I'm in the jungle them. I built down the stay in the house when we outside. I get the blazing. I turn to the 4th of July when we outside. I love you, no condition. You my brother, so I'm always there for you, no condition. I ride on the world, point them out, what's the mission? They can never come between what we stand for. Loyalty above all. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. Being black. I'm selfish with my prayers. Ghost. I love all my niggas, so I'm praying for him. He violate the homie, then I'm laying for him. I said he like a brother, so I'm spraying for him. Skill broke, bring it to the crib, I'ma wait for him. All you niggas talking this nice shit. All my niggas been through that tripe shit. Why you think we wearing ice? We got homies in the inside, know they got they ice fix. Say a prayer for him, put it in the ear for him. Talk to his family, he knows that I care for him. Keep the nigga hype, yeah we fly like we airborne. See you when you touch down, know that we in red form. Goose. For my brother them, I walk the yellow line, we don't do no half stepping. I just my brother them was raised in the dirt, so we gotta raise our weapon. I'm in the jungle them, I built down the stay in the house when we outside. I get the blazing, I turn to the 4th of July when we outside. I love you, no condition. You my brother, so I'm always there for you, no condition. I ride on the world, point them out. What's the mission? They can never come between what we stand for. Loyalty above all. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers. Shout out to my cousin Opium Black. Shout out to my brother Hartford, Connecticut, the Locks, Styles P. You know what I'm saying? Biggie Smalls people. You know what I'm saying? We with it. Let's get it. Alright. We're gonna get up on this child support shit, right? I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know so you could beat the shit out of child support, right? And if you can't, I'm gonna show you how to neutralize them, right? First and foremost, right? Do not accept any mail that's sent to you with all capital letters and zip codes, because if you open it, you're under their jurisdiction. So do not open any mail that child support sends to your house. You go to the post office, you put it in another envelope with a letter stating to them that you do not accept their mail. Tell them I don't accept mail with all capital letters because all capital letters is a corporation, and I don't accept mail with zip codes because it puts you under the jurisdiction of the 4D title child support program, which is a fake ass program. It's all done under contract. Now let me explain something to you, right? I'm gonna show you right now. If you're gonna write a letter to them, this is how you're gonna put your address. You're gonna put your name. I put John Doe, but I put 2 dots in between your first and last name.
Why? Because human beings, living humans, do not have a last name. Humans, back in the olden days, you didn't have a last name. You had a first name, and that's what everyone called you, by your name. Matter of fact, it wasn't even a first name. It was a given name given to you by your tribe. So if your name was John, they just called you John. There was no such thing as a last name. Living, breathing men do not have last names. They do not have first names. They have a given name and a family name. And the only time that your last name was addressed, well, it wasn't a last name. The only time your family name was addressed is when you passed away. On your tombstone, it would say John, from the Doe family. See, I put John Doe. It would say on your tombstone, John from the Doe family. So you do not claim to be a dead person. You're claiming to be a living, breathing human with rights. Dead people don't have rights. So whenever you're talking to these people, always let them know you don't have a last name. You have a first name, and if your first name is John, why do I keep saying first name? No, your given name. My given name is John. If they say, what's your first name? You say, I don't have a first name. I have a given name. My given name is John from the Doe family. I do not have a first or last name. I have a given name and a family name. And when you put your address, before you put your address, put C/O. You put C/O. And then you put your address. Then you put your city, your state, and when you put your zip code, put brackets. Put brackets around the zip code, and then you put non-domestic, non-assumpted. This is how you write to them. And if you don't get mail back like this with brackets on it, you do not open it. You send it back to them and tell them you do not accept this mail. It's in all capital letters. My name is not a corporation. I am not a corporation. I am not a corporate entity. I'm a live human being. Okay? That's the first thing. Because there was some stuff that I forgot to say on my last video. But I have everything in order now. If you ever go to court for child support, if you happen to go into their courthouse, which I do not suggest, if they send you mail, you return it. They cannot move forward with the case if you haven't been properly served. So when you send the mail back to them, they can't move forward. So that's a little thing that you do. Every time they send you mail, you send it back. They can't move forward. Every time they send you mail, you send it back. They can't move forward. You call them, you explain to them the situation. If they keep bothering you, it's time to learn how to file an affidavit and a lawsuit. Because yes, the child support can be sued. They're operating under color of law. Any people operating under color of law, whether they're government officials or not, whether they're judges or not, they can be sued. So these are the first steps. Do not sign no paperwork that they give you. Do not give no information to your baby mother. If you're making money, if you get a new job, do not give her no information. She's going to give it back to them. So this is what I'm telling you right now. Listen to what I'm telling you and follow my steps, and you will be able to get them off of you. Trust me, right? When you write to them, you do what I said. Put your name, put 2 dots, put your last name. Why do I keep saying first and last name? You see? This shit pisses me off. Okay, there put your given name and then put 2 dots and your family name, right? Then you put C/O, and then you put your address, and then you put your city and your state. Make sure that the only capital letters you use are the first and last of the city and always put your zip code in brackets and put what it says right here: non-domestic, non-assumpted. When you send them a letter, ask the tell the courts that you want to see the oath of office of the magistrate, which they don't have an oath of office. And if they don't have an oath of office, what does that mean? If they don't have an oath of office, that means they didn't swear to protect the Constitution and protect your rights. By the way, your rights weren't given by the Constitution. The Constitution was only made to stop the government from violating your God-given rights. Let me say that again. Rewind, right? Um, your rights came from God. The right to talk freely, right? If God gave you a voice, right, you're supposed to be able to talk freely, right? If God gave you legs, you're able to walk, you're able to travel without being harassed, right? That's another topic we're going to get into about the right to travel without a license, because um, under the Constitution, you can travel without a license. You know, I know the motor Department of Motor Vehicles and all this shit. This is all so they can get us for money, and I'm gonna prove it. But first, I'm gonna prove this child support shit, right? So, quasi judges, which are child support magistrates, they do not have an oath of office, so they didn't swear to protect your rights under the Constitution, right? So they're doing it under contract. How did they do it under a contract? Well, they need your consent. That's why they need you to sign paperwork. That's why they need you to ask them for your license. That's why they want you to sign papers. That's why they want you to use their motions. Do not do not use none of the paperwork that they have at the courthouse. If you're gonna file any type of affidavits or anything, make sure you do it yourself. You could use their format, but make sure you do it with your papers, because they have little stuff on the bottom. They have if you use their paperwork, you might be giving them jurisdiction. So my opinion is, do not use their paperwork. Always file your own paperwork. You could use their format, but always file your own paperwork. So look, right? Magistrates do not have the oath of office. You know what I mean? Because they didn't swear to protect your rights. So the first thing you do, if you do go to their court hearing or whatever, you do not swear in. When they ask you to raise your right hand and swear, you say, no, I'm not interested in that. And why? Well, if you raise your right hand and you swear, uh, you raise your right hand and you swear to whatever, you get sworn in, right? You're the only person that's sworn in. The baby mother is not sworn in. The fake judge, magistrate, which is a fake judge because he doesn't have an oath of office. He didn't raise his right hand to swear in, right? Everybody else in court didn't raise their right hand and swear in. So why should you? You're gonna be the only dummy sworn in? No. Meanwhile, they could lie to you, and you can't lie to them because you're sworn in. You see what I mean? So if they ask you to raise your right hand and swear in, you tell them you're not interested in that. You don't want to swear in. No, you're not. Because everyone else in the court, it's not even a court. It's a fake court. Everybody else in the fake court, because that's what it is, a fake court. All they did was rented a room in the courthouse and pretend like they're government officials, and they're not. They're contractors. So you do not swear in. Never swear in. They don't have an oath of office. They didn't swear to protect your rights. So you do not swear in. No. No, you do not. You do not make it easy for them to 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 violate your rights. Absolutely not. See? These are support magistrates and quasi judges. They are not real judges. They do not have the qualities to be a judge. They do not have the quality to even make a decision, because they're not licensed bookkeepers. They're not licensed financial advisors. Right here, they're not certified public accountants. So these fake judges, these quasi magistrates, right? Which are fake, right? They didn't take an oath of office, right? They want you to swear in so you could be the only one, the only dummy there telling the truth while they lie to you and they refuse to tell you the truth. And they do not make it easy, right? So they don't have any of these qualities. Yet they want to tell you how much you got to pay and all that. They don't have a license to tell you. They're not financial advisors. They're lying about that they're judges. They're not judges. Okay? Now, I need you people to go to this website, United States Code, right? And right when you go to this website, it's gonna look just like this when you go to this website, right? And you're gonna look right here. You could tell how far it is from the top of the page. Let me see. Right here, you see where I highlighted? That's how far it is from the top of the page. So when you get to this website, um, just scroll down and read. Just scroll down and read. I'm gonna read what's highlighted right here because this is what child support is housed under. It's housed under the Social Security Act. The Title 42, the Public Health and Welfare, is a non-positive law title. So child support is housed under a non-positive law title. Non-positive law title means it's not law. It has to be done under contract or consent. So when you're called to these hearings and you volunteer to go there and you volunteer to consent, that's why it's important when you go to these hearings, you tell them, is this on record? Please have this on record. I do not consent. Make it clear to them that you do not consent and you're not gonna move forward with the case. I will not move forward. Matter of fact, I do not consent. I do not consent. You know what I'm saying? And I need some questions answered before we go any further. I need questions answered. So right here, that's why I said you have to go to the U.S. Code, right? Because child support is under Title 42, which is a non-positive law title. Title 42 is comprised of many individual enacted federal statutes. And remember, statutes are not laws either. Statutes are administrative rules. They're not law. Okay, so anyways, of many individual enacted federal statutes such as Public Health Service Act and Social Security Act that have been editorially compiled and organized into the title, but the title itself has not been enacted. See? So that means that Title 42 has no power. The title has never been enacted into positive law. So all those magistrates, when you walk into the courthouse and they're trying to scare you and do all this shit, they have no power. They're completely lying to you, and they're scaring you into giving up your rights. They're doing it through fear and intimidation and deception because they shouldn't be wearing robes. They shouldn't be acting like police officers of the court. They shouldn't even have a courtroom. As a matter of fact, they shouldn't even be allowed to have a room in the courts because it's deceptive and they're lying. They don't have no power. They're actors. And how can these people let the courts let these people get away with this? Well, they're taking bribes. That's why. A lot of bribes because child support pulls in a whole lot of money, more than the courts do. All right? So, I already told you, do not go to these hearings because when you go to these hearings, they're going to try to trap you into participating. And once you consent and participate and sign papers, and don't ever get a lawyer because if you get a lawyer, the lawyer the lawyer got their license from the bar association. Your lawyer, if you get a lawyer, got his license from the bar association. The bar association has a contract with the clerk of courts. So they're already sold out to the courts before you hire them. They have a duty to the courts before you hire them. And that's why they give up your rights to the courts. They're not on your side. Don't believe them. I don't care how nice they act. Don't believe them. And when you go to court, they do try to intimidate you. And you know what they'll do? They'll the way that they get you, if you go to these courts and you start bringing up all this stuff and you start exposing them, the next thing that they will try to do is they will try to get you with contempt of court. So that's how they're able to put you behind bars, because they'll give you contempt of court. If you say something that they don't like and they start yelling at you, and you have everything, you have all the proof with you, they'll get you to act out of character so they can hit you with contempt of court. And that's how they can also, even though they're not a court, they're liars. But the rest of the court is paid off by these people because they pull in billions of dollars. So they're allowed to act as phonies and fakes, right? So I just proved to you that Title 42, which houses the child support, has never been enacted into positive law. So they're not law. And they can never be law, because they can never be a law that forces a man to pay for something that belongs to him. How can you pay for something that belongs to you? That's like if I go to your house and I tell you to pay for this car. You're going to say, well, this car already belongs to me, right? Don't your offspring, don't your children already belong to you? They already belong to you. They already belong to you. So how are you going to pay for something that belongs to you? If the mother can't afford to take care of them, well, she has to give them up. She can't ask you for money to take care of them. If she can't take care of them, she must give them up. She can't ask somebody to take care of them while she has them. That's like me going to you saying, "This is my car, right? This is my car, right? I have the car, right? But you have to pay me for gas. You have to pay the insurance on the car, right?" You're going to look at me like I'm crazy and say, "No, I'm not going to give you gas money. I'm not going to pay your insurance. If you can't afford to take care of your car, then give it to me. Sell it to me." Right? Right? I'm not going to expect you to pay my gas and my insurance. If I can't afford to pay for the car, I got to sell the car. All right? So since Title 42 of the Social Security Act, since it doesn't have since it has a non-positive law title, which means it's not law, right? If it has a non-positive law title, it means they're operating under color of law. It means they're operating under color of law. Title 42, which houses the Social Security Act, with the Title 42, which houses the child support, is under the Social Security Act, which has a non-positive law title. If it has a non-positive law title, then they're acting under color of law. Color of law refers to the appearance of legal power to act that may operate in violation of the law. For example, if a police officer acts with color of law authority to arrest someone, the arrest, if it's made without probable cause, may actually be in violation of the law. That's what child support is doing. It has a non-positive law title. So the only way that they can exercise any kind of authority on you is if you consent. If you go down there and you consent, if you go down there and you say, and they say, John, do you admit that there's a debt? They make you raise your right hand so you could be the only dummy telling the truth there, because everyone else is lying, right? And when you raise your right hand and they tell you to swear in, and then they ask you, are you aware that you owe for your children? And you say yes. And you say yes. You're consenting. You say no, I don't owe anybody anything. That's my property. My offspring is my property. Try not to use the word children either. When you go to court, don't use the word children. Use offspring. Because children, that's their words that they use, and they patent those words. So, and parent, pay rent. You are not a parent. Pay rent. If they use any of these terms, if they use parent, you tell them, I'm not a parent. I'm not a parent. I'm not gonna pay rent for my own children. My own offspring. Don't use children. Use offspring. Tell them you're not a parent. Tell them you're not an obligor. I'm not an obligor. All these words that they use, you say, I am not that. I am a man. Refer to me as a man. I identify as a free, living, breathing man with rights, unalienable, unalienable rights given to me by the Creator. Okay? So, let me hold them both up together. See, Title 42, which houses the Social Security, which houses child support, is under this Title 42, which is the Social Security Act, which has a non-positive law title. So it is not law. They're operating under color of law. And I showed you what color of law is. It's not law. They get away with it because they pay bribes. Now, I'm good. Let's go back. I gotta keep going back. This is very important. I have to keep going back to Blessings versus Freestone. I have to keep going back to that. Because Blessings versus Freestone proves, you have to get this. You have to show this when you go to, if they're bothering you, right? Right? And you got to shuffle through these pages and find it. But when you do find it, it says this. They openly admit that the Title 4D child support program was never intended to benefit the mother or the children, right? Does not give rise to individual rights. I should have highlighted that part. See, child support, a child to receive child support is not a right. It's not a right for the mother to receive child support, and it's not a right for the children to receive child support. You're born with rights. It is not a right. Does not give rise to individual rights. It is not a right. It was not intended to benefit individual children and custodial parents, but it is simply a yardstick for the secretary to measure the system-wide performance of the state's Title 4D program, allowing her to increase the frequency of audits and reduce the state's federal grant. That's what it does. It reduces the state's federal grant. It has nothing to do with the children or the custodial parents. It's simply a yardstick for the secretary to measure the system-wide performance and reduce the state's federal grant. See, so it's not child support. It has nothing to do. The mother is not the beneficiary. It is to reduce the state's federal grant, which is public treasury support. That's what you're paying for. They're taking bribes. They're stealing your money, and we have to get together. We're not going to be able to do this alone. Us going to court by ourselves without cameras, without a team. We need all fathers. All fathers, whether you're on this program or whether they're coming after you or not, we need your support. We need all fathers. All loving fathers who care about their offspring and care about other good dads out there. We cannot allow them to get away with this. Tyrese, right? His baby mother wants an enormous amount of money. $663,000, right? Going up there almost to the million, right? Now, that's way too much money to give a female. That's not child's. That's not for the offspring. That's not for his offspring. That's way too much money. If she can't afford to take care of them, she should give them to the dad. That's the right thing to do. That would be the right thing to do. How do you expect me to pay for something that belongs to me? Now, hold on. I'm just gonna gather up some of my stuff, right? Okay, so when these fake judges, by the way, I have to say this. I am not a lawyer. I'm not a law firm. I do not implicate that you do not take care of your offspring, your human offspring. All the only thing I'm doing is I'm saying you made them in private, you take care of it in private. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm not a licensed attorney. You know what I'm saying? Everything I'm telling you right now is for informational purposes, and for I want us to stand together in this matter because it's abuse what they're doing. Okay, now, so when they're operating under color of law, even if it's a real judge, even if they do have an oath of office, if they're operating under color of law, they can be sued. The immunity is lost. See, read this. Even where state officials are administrating a federally funded program, the state officials are still acting under color of law. Check this case too. Check this case. If they're operating under color of law, um, immunity is lost and they can be sued. This violates the 14th Amendment and due process law. Okay? Okay? I'm coming hard. I'm coming hard. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to go hard for a whole month about the situation, and I'm going to give you other remedies. I'm going to give you other options, other remedies. For example, like me, if you have pains in your back like me, I have pains in my back. I have problems with my stomach. I have ulcers in my stomach. I have pains in my back. I've been in car accidents and all this. You can file for Social Security benefits. And if you decide to file for Social Security benefits, you go file, you send the paperwork to the clerk, to the courts, to the fake courts, and then they have to leave you alone. They can't bother you until you receive your benefits. You tell them I can't work. I'm injured. You know what I'm saying? I'm disabled. I have back problems. I have problems with, like me, I have ulcers in my stomach. So if you have any pains and you have a hard time working, hard time picking up 50 pounds or such, things like this, you can apply for Social Security benefits and they must leave you alone. They can't do nothing. It's stalemate. They can't do nothing until you receive your benefits. And if you get denied, you can reapply and reapply and reapply and reapply, and they can't do shit. It's a stalemate. You can also get rid of your Social Security card. If you're tired of being abused by the government, by this fake, corrupted, paid off, bought and sold government, not everybody in the government is sold out either. There's people trying to fight this shit, believe it or not. Right? So you can also return your Social Security card. And another thing. Hold on. I forgot to mention. I almost forgot to mention, but let me find a paper, right? The Social Security card. You see how the child support is housed underneath the Social Security Act, right? If you do not have a Social Security card, they cannot come after you. So if you return your Social Security card and tell them you don't want it, you want to cancel it and terminate it, and you know what their evil ass will do? They'll keep whatever money you worked hard for, But if you really want them to get off of you, you can return your social security card, and it terminates. You're no longer a part of this, right? And another thing is this: you are underneath this Title 4D program that's coming after you, or whatever, right? Um, they identify you by your social security card, but the social security card does not belong to you, and I'm gonna prove it. The social security card does not belong to you. Look this up. Google it. Google this. Go to Google and say, does the social security card belong to me? It does not. Social security number cards, a person who is assigned a social security number will receive a social security card from SSA within a reasonable time after the number has been assigned, right? Excuse me. Excuse me. Um, Regarding the assignment of social security cards and numbers, aliens, social security number cards are property of the SSA and must be returned upon request. So the card doesn't belong to you. You're just the holder of the card, right? Look it up. Look it up. Google this. Look this up. The social security card does not belong to you. If you look on the back of it, it says the same thing. It does not belong to you. You are not the owner of it, and you must return it if they request you to, right? What does that mean? That means that if child support is coming after you for money, the debt is not yours. The debt belongs because they identify you by your social security card because it's under the Social Security Act, which means when they send you letters from the child support agency, send them to the Social Security. Say, hey, I'm just the holder of the card. I'm not the owner. So they cannot sue me. They have to sue the Social Security. You're just the holder. You're just the holder of the card. You're not the owner. So you're not responsible for the debt. Send it to the Social Security and say, you got to take care of this debt because the all capital letter name and the Social Security card do not belong to me. I'm just the holder. So the child support debt falls on the Social Security, the owner of the Social Security, which is the SSA. So how do they expect you to pay the debt? It doesn't belong to you. The card doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the Social Security Administration, so that's their debt, not yours. Look on the back of your Social Security card and you'll see what I mean. The Title 4D, and when I say 4D, it's spelled in Roman. So it's Title 4D. It's, the 4 is spelled like an I and a V, and then yeah, it's spelled in Roman numbers. If you gotta Google shit, I'm just saying. Let's go back to peonage. See, the holding of any person, service, or labor under the system known as peonage is abolished and forever prohibited in any territory or state of the United States. See, it has been outlawed. So if they try to take you to jail for non-payment of child support, they're doing it under peonage. And believe me, it is not easy to fight these people because they're paying bribes. You have to understand something. These people are criminals. And the courts are allowing them to do this because they're taking bribes. So what could we do to fight back? Fighting back, we need a lot of men. We need to gather up millions of men, like the Million Man March, and we need to march through the courthouse. We need all of us to stand together and fight because they're demasculating men. They're demasculating men. That's what they're doing. They've been doing this and getting away with this for too long. We must gather together, all black men, the Nation of Islam, all my Latin brothers, you know what I'm saying, that are going through this shit. This is completely illegal. It is completely illegal. They're violating our rights given from God. Our right to travel. Right to travel. They're suspending licenses. We don't need a license to travel. That's another thing that we gotta fight as men. Back in the day when we traveled on horses, we didn't need a license. We didn't need. I mean, if someone has to take a test just to learn how to, because they don't know how to, that's reasonable. But after that, no man should be able to take away your right to travel. Fuck the license. Fuck the license. I'm talking about right to travel, right? So we know that child support is housed under a non-positive law title, which is a Social Security Act, which they identify you by your Social Security card. So the Social Security card doesn't belong to you, so the debt doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the Social Security Administration, right? But also, they're operating under color of law because it has a non-positive law title. We know what color of law is. Color of law is the appearance of law, but it's not really law. You know what I'm saying? And we know that it's illegal under the Constitution, right? We know that it's illegal under the Constitution and federal law. Federal law provides that it is a crime to violate rights of citizens under color of law. You can be arrested for this crime, and you can also be held personally liable for civil damages. So if federal law is saying that it is illegal to violate your rights under color of law, why did they start a program, a privately owned company that belongs to the federal government, right, violating our rights, violating the separation of powers mandate, violating the separation of powers mandate, lying, saying that it's about children when it has nothing to do with the children. Lying, saying it had when Blessings versus Freestone clearly states, they clearly admitted that it has nothing to do. Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Look, this is exactly what I was going to show you, right? So, right? Look at this. Look at this paper, right? This paper is Title 4D Child Support Program, right? Background, right? I got this from the child support website now. This is why I said it's important. Look at the child support website. When they talk about being service providers, what is a service provider? All right, but anyways, look. I got this from the child support website. Title 4D of the Social Security Act, which has never been enacted into positive law, right? Let me read again because I get excited about this. The Title 4D of the Social Security Act established a state-federal partnership to provide child support services, right? This is not law. These are services, right? So it says state/federal partnership. Title 4D of the Social Security Act establishes state-federal, which is illegal. The state and federal are not supposed to partner. It violates the separation of powers mandate. Where is my... Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this together. I'm gonna do this together, right? I'm gonna do this right now, really fast. Pay attention, right? Right? What does it say right there? I got this from the website of the child support. Title 4D of the Social Security Act establishes state-federal partnership. What is a partnership? What is a partnership? What is partnership? A voluntary contract between two or more competent persons to place their money, efforts, labor, and skill, or some of or all of them, in lawful commerce or business, with the understanding that there shall be potential proportional sharing of the profits and losses between them. This is partnership, is a company, is a business. So explain this to me, right? I got this from the child support website. How can Title 4D of the Social Security Act establish a state and federal partnership? How can they establish a business together? How can they establish a business together when the separation of powers mandate states that separation of powers is a document of constitutional law under which the three branches of government, executive, legislative, and judicial branch, are kept separate. This is also known as the system of checks and balances because each branch is given certain powers so as to check the balance of the other branches. So these branches are completely kept separate so they can keep each other in line, so they don't violate your rights, right? So explain this to me, right? How does the executive branch, how does the judicial branch exercise the power of the executive branch? It's illegal. It violates the separation of powers mandate. Each branch has to each branch has separate powers, and generally each branch is not allowed to exercise the power of the other branches. They can't, because it violates the Constitution. If they exercise, they started a privately owned company for profits and they're taking bribes. And they got fake judges with no oath of office. If you don't believe me, ask them if they have an oath of office or a bond. They hate when you talk about their bond. But I'm gonna tell you what is going on. I'm gonna tell you what is going on. What's going on is there is a judge that's signing off on their paperwork. They send the magistrates to go do the dirty work. Because since the magistrates are not judges, they don't have an oath of office, there is a judge who's signing off. And when you go into these courts or you talk to them, say which is the judge with the oath of office and a bond. Make sure they have a bond with insurance so you can sue them, right? I want to know who is the judge signing off on your paperwork. That's the one that you have to come after. You can come after all of them. You can come after because they're all violating your rights under color of law. But you want the judge who's signing the paperwork because that's the one that we need to go after so we can stop the madness, right? So I'm going to tell you like this in my comment section, right? I need men. I need people who are willing to get together. I'm gonna have to start giving my email, but we need to gather up enough men that we all fight together. That's the only way. That's the only way. We can't do it by ourselves. They're going to continue taking bribes. These people have billions of dollars. They're powerful. They're powerful. We got to stand together like the Million Man March. That's what I'm going to say. So, James Balmer, like, share, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, hit the notification bell. I'm going to be going hard this month. I'm going to need support. I'm going to need a lot of you people's support. Okay? If you want this, if you want this to change, I'm gonna need your help. Now, here's a guy who got him on stalemate too. Let me play this.
So I'm gonna show you how to get $1,652 a month, but you gotta pay attention and listen to what I'm telling you. Please wait. You are now joining. Hello, this is Judge Lynn, who just joined the line.
I'm the accused.
Is that Mr. Quintero?
I'm the accused, allegedly, David Quintero.
All right. Well, welcome. We're going to go ahead and go on the record. We are here in ST 2017-02, 2017-0042. This concerns the state of Arizona as well as David Quintero and Kimberly Hadley. Both Mr. Quintero and Ms. Hadley are present represented by the Attorney General's office with Assistant Attorney General Amanda Arrett present. And let's have, well, Ms. Arrett, how would you like to begin today? Would you like to put someone on the witness stand?
Judge, I would like to ask Mr. Quintero some questions, if that's possible.
All right. Mr. Quintero, if you're able to stand and raise your right hand, I'd like to have you sworn in.
No, I'm not interested in that. And for the record, I reserve all my rights and waive none. I am present by special appearance, in proprio persona, as the accused. There are multiple permanent due process errors and violations on the record. This matter is tainted. These errors cannot be cured. This matter is over. There's only two options. You dismiss this matter with prejudice, or write an order so that I can appeal and file my lawsuits. There's nothing more for today.
I'm sorry, I disagree with that. We are proceeding. You have the option of affirming rather than swearing. Would you prefer that?
I appreciate your question, but I'm not interested.
So the problem if you don't swear or affirm is that nothing that you state will be sworn testimony. Let me just ask one more time. Do you wish to be sworn in or affirm, or are you refusing to do that?
I appreciate your question, but I'm not interested.
I'll consider that to be a refusal to be sworn in or to affirm. In light of that, Ms. Arrett, do you still want to question Mr. Quintero?
I do not, Judge. I can simply provide an update and some recommendations.
All right, very good.
So since the last hearing, there has been absolutely no information received by the Attorney General from Mr. Quintero until about May 23rd. Payments were coming in weekly through unemployment benefits. I don't know if Mr. Quintero is still receiving those unemployment benefits, as I see the last payment was May 23rd. I do want to note that this is Ms. Hadley's enforcement action. I know at the last hearing there was some statement by Ms. Hadley stating that she did not find review hearings to be helpful, and given Mr. Quintero's complete lack of compliance, I'm not sure how helpful continued review hearings will continue to be. Nevertheless, as I stated, payments are coming in, or were coming in by unemployment. At this time, the state will not be requesting review hearing, and I believe Mr. Quintero is still found to be contempt given the fact that he has not complied with any court orders.
Based on your records, are all the payments coming in as involuntary administrative payments from the unemployment or pandemic unemployment, whatever it might be?
Yes, Judge. Everything has been involuntary.
All right. I was wondering, based on my review thus far, whether it was going to make sense to have continued review hearings. Ms. Hadley, I'm not asking to be sworn in unless you would like to be at this time. But what were you requesting that the court do today?
I don't know. I just want them. I do want them to keep enforcing because I have to keep providing for our daughter. Obviously, I have since she was born, and Mr. Quintero has always made it clear that he has no intention of supporting, but has nonetheless.
Let me say something, right? You are right. Listen, you decided to have kids knowing that you can't afford to take care of them, right? You opened up your legs, had sex with this guy, right? Knowing you don't have the money to raise kids, knowing that. You know that for 100% facts, right? Even let's say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Let's say he's wrong too. Let me just be fair, right? Let's say he's wrong too, right? He knew that he didn't have enough to take care of kids, right? She was wrong. She knew too. She knew too, and she knew that he couldn't afford to pay like that, right? She knows that, you know what I'm saying? So why the fuck does the courts? Matter of fact, they're not even courts. They're liars, and they you know what they're doing? They're ripping men off. You know what I'm saying? Divide and conquer, control is part of the system, right? Right? Yo, this is completely her fault. She could have took when she got pregnant, she could have got an abortion, right? She could have there's so many things that she could have done, knowing that she can't afford to take care of a child. A man doesn't have all these options. A man doesn't have an option to go to go get a to go what do you call it get an abortion. A man doesn't have that option. A woman does. A woman could say, wait, I don't got money, we don't have enough to take care of it. She can go get an abortion, right? She could have easily been taking those pills not to get pregnant. And I'm not saying he could have wore a condom too. I'm not letting him off the hook. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's not his responsibility to pay for a child that she has. If she can't afford to take care, I mean, look, let me tell you like this, right? Why guys cannot go to the grocery store and bring food to the kids? Why can't a guy go to the store, buy clothes for the kids, and take care of them like that without going through the system? Anyways, let's continue because this is gonna get good. He's got him in stalemate. They can't do shit.
And so harassing to me that I think it's only appropriate that we keep reminding him that financial responsibility is two parents, not one. So I don't know what the court wants to do in this matter because he won't. He can test everything. Obviously, you can see. So I don't know what we do. I just last time I told the court, it was just inconveniencing me because Mr. Quintero is not. He has no desire to partake in any of this, obviously. All right. And so I'm not sure what the appropriate measures are to do. Well, if we don't continue to have review hearings, that doesn't mean the enforcement stops. You are working with the 4D agency, and so the regular administrative remedies for collection continue to be in place. All right. And you have been receiving regular payments now since for a period of months now. Is that correct? I have been receiving whatever they intercept, like a percentage of whatever they intercept. So yeah. All right. Which I'm sure when that stops, it will stop because I don't think he has any intention of paying his. So. Well, regardless, at the moment you are getting payments, even though those weren't, as far as we know, voluntary. Correct? Correct. Yeah, he's never made a voluntary payment. All right. And I'm getting a percentage, yes. Mr. Quintero, there may be some outstanding documents that you had attempted to file previously. I'm doing a review, and I will address those in writing. But for today's purposes, the court will find that it has jurisdiction over the parties and subject matter. That finding is understood to be over the objection of Mr. Quintero. The court finds that payments are coming in regularly through administrative collection remedies, although not voluntarily. The court does not see any benefit at the moment to continuing to have review hearings, and therefore will not set a review hearing at this time. However, an additional hearing could be requested in the future should that be necessary, or if payments stop. The court affirms the prior child support order for current support in the amount of $317 per month, and orders Mr. Quintero to make such payments, as well as anything additional that he is able to make towards the outstanding arrearages. The court will sign this minute entry. Mr. Quintero, one thing I noticed as I was reviewing some documents is it looks as if you have not complied with
couldn't do shit. Couldn't do shit to that brother. Shout out to that brother, man. Wise brother. See, you do what he said, what he does. Do not swear in. Nah, your due process rights are being violated. You know what I'm saying? File your lawsuits. Learn how to do an affidavit. You got Google now. You got YouTube now. There's no reason why you shouldn't learn how to do an affidavit. There's no reason why you shouldn't learn how to file a lawsuit and do it in small claims court and sue everybody there. Make sure you got your paperwork together. But another thing is, make sure you start a team. Make sure, look, I'm gonna go hard this, if you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna go hard this month, right? I'm gonna drop you my email, right? Let's gather up. Let's get 100 guys, 200 guys, 300 guys, 500 Spartans, 500 Spartans. Let's go to the thousands. Let's see if we can get to the millions of people and terminate this fuck system. Because that's what it is. None of it is legal. It's unconstitutional. They're violating your rights to travel, your right to religion. If it's against your religion for a company to profit from your family's pain, it's unconstitutional. They're taking away right to travel, unconstitutional. I showed you all the paperwork, but I'm going to keep showing the paperwork, right? Now, other remedies are, if they're bothering you a lot and you don't have time for all this shit and you have no one helping you and you have pain like back pains, leg pains, you could file for Social Security and they're in stalemate. They can't do shit to you. You show them the papers that you filed for Social Security and they have to wait until you receive your Social Security. And if you do not receive it, you could reapply and keep reapplying as many times as you have to and get these motherfuckers off your back. Another option is you could file for bankruptcy. Then they have to give you your license back and they have to give you your passport back. So I think it's chapter 13 that you gotta file. I could be wrong. It could be chapter 7 or 13. But I think it's chapter 13 where you pay a little bit a month and they have to give you your license back and your social and your passport. And guess what? Your baby mother and these fucking piece of shit assholes can't do shit. They have to just sit back and do nothing because they can't do nothing once you file for chapter 13, I believe. So those are some remedies to get them off of you. Another thing is starting your own business, right? If you start your own business, right, you create your own company, whatever it be, you start your own company, you pay yourself $7 an hour, right? And if they take half of your check, whatever, it's your company. You hire other people. Don't tell your baby mother. Don't tell anyone if you have your own company. Do not. Whenever you're making money, whenever you're doing stuff, don't ever tell your baby mother and don't ever tell. I don't give a fuck. If she can't take care of the children, she should give them to you. That's the right thing to do. Now I'm saying she's openly admitting that she's not capable of taking care of them because she's not financially, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you have land, like my family has land and property, I can grow my own food. I don't have to buy them anything. I don't even have to use money. I don't have to use currency. Why do I have to use currency? I can grow the food and bring it to them. You know what I'm saying? How I choose to take care of my family is my fucking personal business. And that's the bottom line. And they can't fuck with me because I know everything. Shoot. If you return your social security card, a lot of people don't want to do this because they feel like they need their social security card. If you return your social security card and cancel that contract that you have with the social security card and return your social security card, yeah, there's certain things you won't be able to do anymore. But you can go get a passport and you can use your passport instead of a social security card. So you can easily return. The only problem is they're going to keep all the benefits that you've gathered over the years by working. So that's something that you got to think about. But for me, it's probably way worth it to just get rid of it because at the end of the day, even if you're waiting, let's say you're waiting for a retirement check, right? And you're waiting all these years. If you just give them back your social security card, cancel all your bank's card, anything that you use with that social security card, right? Get rid of them. Child support now is out of your life, right? You go get a passport, right? And you explain to them that you don't have a social security card and they give you a passport, you can then work And you can build up more money than you ever have before without having these people fucking you up. And then now you could go get a driver's license. And then you don't have to worry about getting it suspended. You can move freely. You can move on with your life. You can go get another wife. But don't get married through the court system. If you get married, uh, uh have a family wedding. Nothing through the government. Because anytime you sign papers through the government, you're contracting with them and you're doing business with them instead of having a marriage from God. You know, you're making them your God. So you don't want to get married. Don't ever sign birth certificates. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever sign them. You know what I'm saying? If you have a child with a woman and she has to sign it, let her sign it. And then when you get the baby home, you retrack, you go back because you have about 10 days or something to retrack your signature from the birth certificate. And you do that and you explain to them that you don't want to sell them out to the corporations because it's against your religion. And then they have to respect it. I think you have to sign a religious exempt. You know what I'm saying? Do not sell your children do not sell your offspring into slavery. I gotta stop using that word, children and child, and because that's all corporate names. Parent is also a corporate name. This whole month I'm gonna go hard, so I'm gonna need you to take notes. And like I said, if you got back pains or anything like that, file for Social Security. They can't do shit. Can't do nothing. They have to wait. You know what I'm saying? So James Balmer here. You know, let me go ahead and play my cousin with Styles P again. Shout out to Hartford, Connecticut, man.
If I love you, then I love you, no condition. You my brother, so I'm always there for you, no condition. I
Ride on the world, point them out. What's the mission?
They can never come between
What we stand for, loyalty above all.
I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers. Whoa, don't get no headshot, this in my kin.
I go retarded for my brother then.
No off switch, you heard of him. Chappelle Guardian, I slaughtered him, my body stretched. You see the corpse of a giant when I exit the booth. Your soul kiss the feet of the gods when it exits your roof. We like the mob in the 70s. I pray for my enemies.
I pray on my enemies don't play.
If I call them boys coming, under arms like a centipede. My brother know my energy. Talk without speaking, never argue over bitches. Leave a jumpy on the weekend. If I trust you, keep a secret. My brother never leak it. To question a man's loyalty is evil. Whoa. For my brother, I walk the yellow line. We don't do no half stepping. I just my brother them. Was raised in the dirt, so we gotta raise our weapon. I mean the trouble them. I built down on the stay in the house when we outside. I get the blazing. I turn to the 4th of July when we outside. I love you, no condition. You my brother, so I'm always there for you. No condition. I ride on the world.
Point them out. What's the mission?
They can never come between what we stand for.
Loyalty above all.
I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas.
Being black.
I'm selfish with my prayers.
I love all my niggas, so I'm
Praying for him.
He violate the homie,
Then I'm laying for him.
I said he like a brother,
So I'm spraying for him.
Skill broke, bring it to the crib, I'ma wait for him. All you niggas talking this nice shit. All my niggas been through that tripe shit. Why you think we wearing ice? We got homies in the inside, know they got they ice picks. Say a prayer for him.
Put it in the air for him.
Talk to his family, he knows
That I care for him.
Keep the nigga hype, yeah, we fly like we airborne. See you when you touch down, know that we in red form. Goose.
For my brother them, I walk the yellow line. We don't do no half stepping. I just my brother them. Was raised in the dirt, so we gotta raise our weapon. I mean the trouble them. I built down on the stay in the house when we outside. I get the blazing. I turn to the 4th of July when we outside. I love you, no condition. You my brother, so I'm
always there for you.
No condition. I ride on the world.
Point them out. What's the mission?
They can never come between what we stand for.
Loyalty above all.
I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers, only love my niggas. I'm selfish with my prayers.
Shout out to my cuzzo. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to the Locks. Styles P. Hartford, Connecticut. Let's get it. We with it. So, I'm coming for him. You know I'm coming for him, right? You know I'm coming for him. I'm hooking off on him. Yo, great dads against child support corruption. It's gonna be it. We gonna do this together, right? I'm depending on y'all. I'm trying to raise up as many people as I could, and let's get with it. Let's get it. James Balmer TV. Love you. Love and light. Like, share, subscribe. You new to the channel, hit the notification bell. Let's get it. We with it. We gone.